Early in the morning, on a warm spring day in Greenville, Alabama, a woman takes her dog for a walk in the woods. Suddenly, she smells something, an overpowering, putrid odor coming from a dense stretch of brush. Officers follow the sickening stench to its source.
Hey, Bill?
A man covered in a blanket. Detectives must first identify the remains, which is often difficult with the homeless. But fortunately, they find a driver's license in the victim's clothing. From his fingerprint, investigators confirm the body belongs to a man named Larry Boyd.
The victim's family said he was a friendly, sensitive, good person who had trouble with alcohol in his life up until just a few weeks prior to, we believe, the date of the victim's death. He'd been living in an apartment and helping a stepdaughter raise her 2 young children.
Though Larry had tried to overcome his alcoholism, he was still drinking heavily. And in the weeks before his death, he moved out of his stepdaughter's home.
The family truly loved him, and they all kept in close contact with him.
The last they heard, he had left the shelter and gone to live in a homeless camp, but they continued to speak on the phone every few weeks. Then suddenly the call stopped. Now his family knows why. The clues to how Larry Boyd died are contained in his skull, clues that only a bone specialist can decipher. The bone specialist investigators turn to is forensic anthropologist Dr. David Glassman. Now, Dr. Glassman must try to find justice for a person who was invisible to most of society.
It became clear that a brutal murder had taken place.
Hey, hands off them! You put their bottle down!
Steve Palmer grabs a hatchet that is on the ground next to him. He approaches Larry Boyd from behind with the hatchet raised. Palmer then hits Larry Boyd not once, but twice with the blunt end of the tool. Steve Palmer is convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to 30 years in prison. He is currently appealing his conviction. The verdict provides a small measure of closure to Larry Boyd's family.
They wanted to know what happened to him. For us, it's a case that you get it, you investigate it, and you move along. For them, it's a life-altering experience that they needed to have an ending to.
But Dr. Glassman takes special satisfaction knowing that he helped bring justice to a person that the rest of the world may have overlooked.
It's almost as if he was forgotten. But we know that's not the case, because to his family, he was not forgotten at all.